Stumbling home, we don't know where we're going. Should've turned back hours ago. Out of our minds, I guess we're sleeping outside. You're still a good time, even in the cold.
Hello, welcome to Defender Adventure. We are Paul and Chrissy from the UK, and with our Land Rover Defender that we have called Sterling, we are travelling the world.
Guess we need a new plan. There's a motel a mile down the road.
Hello and welcome to Defender Adventure. We are Paul and Chrissy, and we are travelling the world in our Land Rover Defender that we have called Sterling. It is now June 2021 and we are in the south of Baja California, Mexico.
Yeah, we've been in Baja California now for about 17 months, but we moved down to here in El Sargento, where we are now, from Loreto in February 2021, and we have found a rental property that just sits up high and overlooks the beach and overlooks the ocean. We have a wonderful view from the house, and in fact we've seen so much from our house that we've decided to introduce a new feature, limited edition feature, called What We Saw From Our Window.
Yes, we can walk down to the beach from the house, and we spent many hours on the beach. It was perfect, but it didn't always look great. One day we looked down and the beach was all red, and we went down and found, we were told, were baby lobsters had been washed ashore in their millions, and we don't know why this happened.
No, absolutely no idea. It was like mass suicide. Yes, kite surfing. We didn't know it before we moved here, but it turns out that La Ventana, which is the next town along from El Sargento, is actually one of the world's top 10 places for kite surfing. We moved in, and then one day we looked out of our window and saw this. For those of you new to this activity, basically you stand on a board and get pulled along by a large kite. If you prefer a smoother ride, you can have a board with what's called a foil. And if being pulled by a kite doesn't do it for you, then you can try your hand with an inflatable wing. Once you have mastered the going along bit, you can always have a go at the going up bit. And whilst many of the kite surfers made it look easy, we did notice from our viewpoint that there were a few key basics to get to grips with.
Always got your head up in the clouds.
Street, so we chop it, so we do it. This is when you come feel like down the street, alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Down down and we a lock down the street, so we chop it, so we do it. This is when you come feel like down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tapping up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tapping up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tapping up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And everybody say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tapping up the big tune.
Stumbling home, we don't know where we're going. Should've turned back hours ago. Out of our minds, I guess we're sleeping outside. You're still a good time, even in the cold. Get out the road, I told you. A car's coming, I stop you. You know I always got you. You know I always got you. Push it to the side, even if it means that I die. I wouldn't hesitate about it, wouldn't even think about it. I know I really love you.
Rays and dolphins were a common sighting, but this was the only time that we saw dolphins actively hunting. And if you look closely, you see the fish dancing across the water.
Plan. There's a motel a mile down the road. Finally can stand, back then still looking for dry land.
Our location here in a combination of a coastal and a desert environment means we get a lot of bird life and wildlife that we don't actually ever see in the UK. And it turns out the house is actually on a flight path for all sorts of birds. Frigate birds, pelicans, eagles, vultures. Many smaller birds visited the garden. A lot of those birds were very welcome, especially birds like the cardinal bird. But but we weren't so keen on the early morning arrival of the cactus wren.
Kayaking generally had to be done first thing in the morning before the wind picked up and the kite surfers came out. Most of the time I found kayaking enjoyable, but it wasn't always the case.
Women driver. Tell your face.
Tell your face in a minute. Hola, amigo.
Did you get off my kayak?
Oh, well, I didn't know what you was doing.
Well, I was filming you, but you've come too close.
Mind the little mess down there. Yeah. Why did I not enjoy it? I enjoyed it. It was you about women drivers. We did manage to catch some footage of what was under the water, but that didn't last long as somebody dropped the GoPro and lost it in the sea. Mentioning no names.
Well, I'd like to think it was we lost it in the sea.
The royal we.
Yeah. If we didn't go kayaking, then we generally went high. Okay, now it's about hayaking. What's hayaking? Take 3.
Hold on, I've got the giggles.
If we didn't go kayaking, then we generally went hiking. Hiking was done in the hills to the rear of the house. There's a lot of trails cut through the cactus up there, used by a lot of mountain bikers, I think. Our walks would take about an hour, hour and a half most days, and most of the views, the majority of the time, we had views of the Sea of Cortez. So they were beautiful walks. And some of them were just circular walks, some led to secluded bays, one in particular where Chrissy tried her hand at dry stone walling.
But they were by tide markers.
Well, yeah. Don't give up the day job.
Too late.
And whilst the views were great, you did have to keep your eye out where you were treading. We did go on one walk without any cameras, and we had a very close encounter with a rattlesnake. And when we came back, Chrissy posted on Facebook that we'd had this encounter. And we know all you out there are haters and doubters, and we had a lot of comments coming back that without photographic evidence, nobody could believe that we'd seen this snake. So, as a little gesture to these people, we rigged up a bit of rope, white rope, and suggested that it was a rare albino braided cotton snake. And we took a couple of photographs, and in the first photograph we posted a picture of the snake, and then the second photograph we put the caption that said we'd been asked by a lot of people if the snake had a rattle for a tail, and we said, afraid not. We did get a few comments, but the one that made me laugh the most was my mum's friend Mary, that believed we had really seen a rare albino braided cotton snake. Yeah. One morning I was very rudely awakened by Chrissy to report that there was a calf trapped in our neighbour's garden. Apparently in the night the calf had been caught in some wire. It was with its mother, and in the darkness it had managed to escape from the wire. And Chrissy went to check on them in daylight, and the mother had left the garden, but the calf seemed to be trapped in the garden. So Chrissy decided to take a course of action, which was wake me up and send me round there. I didn't have chance to wash, clean my teeth, or even put on many clothes. So we decided to turn this event into a news report. So in the night we had a young calf trapped in the fence in the bit of land next to us. He was with his mother though, and he got himself free. But this morning he's still stuck in here. The mother's freed herself from the bit of land, but the calf Well, here he is. Hello. Hello. I'm not sure I can open this gate for you. I can't. It's locked. Can you come here? Can you get over a little wall? Hello? Excuse me, sir? Can you get over a little wall? Otherwise, there's not a lot I can do for you. Well, I failed.
It's failed. The little calf is still stuck next door.
I couldn't free the calf, but I've now got an expert to assist me. Here she is. Here comes Mum. Come on, Mum. Not that you can help much. You wandered off in the first place. Yes, she did, didn't she? Hey? Come on. Come on then. Come on. Not that way. Oh my god, what's the matter with animals? Look! Oh my word, we're trying our best! You're not helping! Either of you! I think this is what they call a Mexican standoff.
baby.
Whilst we've been living here in the house in El Sargento, we have made a number of trips out, which we're going to cover in another video. One of our most frequent trips is to the main town, La Paz, which is about a 30-40 minute drive from here, for day-to-day bits and bobs that we might need. Just a couple of miles down the road is La Ventana. On one particular day, we had to pop into La Ventana, do a little bit of shopping. We were heading for the farmers market, and they'd started to dig up the road. There were no warning signs, no barriers, no traffic lights, just digging up the road. And nothing to say whether there was a diversion. We ended up just driving through the roadworks.
They don't seem to be bothered.
We're still not sure whether we should have done or not, but nobody seemed too bothered, especially the driver in the JCB.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's one of those wonderful differences that you find when you travel. I can't imagine anything like this ever happening in the UK.
Certainly not. Oh.
He says yes,
Yeah.
he says yes. Yes it is.
Oh, get over a bit. La
Ventana had pretty much most of what we needed to get by, and as I mentioned, on Thursdays there's a farmers market which was represented by a lot of the locals. We would go and obviously visit only the healthy stalls.
Well, I might. I don't know about you.
Sorry, in the colonies they call it truck.
Yeah, that's okay.
I do, but yeah, I got up really early and drank the coffee.
There you go. So one down. Boom, boom, boom.
A short distance down the road from the farmers market was the campground. This is where the majority of the kite surfers stayed, and this campground was absolutely packed at the height of the kite surfing season. And next to the campground was a big what would you call it?
I'd say like a community centre type, what we would have at home,
Yeah, it's sort of
where you can go and
a hangar-like building. It reminded me of when I used to go to the youth centre. That you would go into a big hall.
the wee boy.
Yeah, when you go into a hall and they had a bar for soft drinks, obviously, and hot drinks, and then they had football table and table tennis and other games to play, and music was played, and we went down there one evening to sample the environment, and I took Chrissy on in a game of
I don't know what they call it.
whatever it's called.
Oh, I don't know.
Shove halfpenny, but on a bigger scale.
Hope you enjoyed this video. The next one will be of our day trips out. There might be a couple of nights that we stayed out. Hope you enjoyed it.
It might even be us getting stuck.
Oh, yes. We won't mention that.
And
Not
Chrissy
yet.
not being happy about it.
I threw my dolly out the pram.
Yeah. Anyway, until next time.
Goodbye.